Thanks for joining us on another episode of No We're Actually Scared. I'm your host, Dusty Davenport, here with my co-host,
Johnny Paranoia.
and we're here to talk about all the current events of the day.
Yeah, weird ones. Headlines, ghost, asteroids,
NASA,
hockey.
money,
Let's get into it.
America.
Let's talk some nonsense.
So everyone's talking about Taylor Swift getting booed, not realizing that there's Eagles fans in the fucking crowd.
It was all Eagles fans.
It's all Eagles fans. Like, everyone's thinking, like, oh, it's Trump. Everyone wants to make it out to be this big fucking political thing.
Right.
It's like, no, these are the most degenerate, like, East Coast, like, football fans booing the girlfriend of Mr. Pfizer.
The lowest of the low, man. Eagles fans are the lowest of the low. They threw snowballs at Santa.
They're beating people up. They're literally known for, like, harassing people
Right.
walking out of the stadium.
And then the other thing is, too, you look at it, it's Kansas City's third Super Bowl in a row. How many billionaires live in Kansas City, Missouri?
And then you got to think, like, everyone that's going there, no one wants Kansas City to win that Super Bowl.
Nobody.
And a lot of people going to the Super Bowl are just going to go to the Super Bowl.
Right.
They're not going to root for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Right. And like I said, even the Kansas City fans that did go, like how many are there that can afford to go to the third Super Bowl in a row?
Yeah.
I mean, you're paying, what was it, $5,000 was the cheapest seat, I think?
Right. And then maybe take the 5% of the Kansas City fans that are there for Trump and are booing Taylor Swift. They're not even an iota compared to the Eagles fans that are going to boo anyone to do with the Chiefs.
Right.
You could have put up a dude wearing red and it would have got booed.
It would have got booed. It would have got booed. I just think of like there's a video of like a little 2-year-old kid at a hockey game.
Yep.
And like he's like wearing one of the Canucks jerseys or the
Yep.
Flames jerseys, and they're just cheering him every time he just comes. He's doing nothing. And then there's another kid with like a Vancouver Canucks jersey, and they're booing him.
Yep. Until they go back. Yep.
Like that's all I was thinking about. She's like, "What's happening?" I think I was off on the people in her suite though.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
she wasn't even in a suite, right?
Well, she was in a suite. God, yeah, she was in a suite.
No, I keep looking at the video. Yeah, you're right. She's in a suite.
But he's got he's got a toy over here.
You hear a dog chewing a bone over here.
Oh yeah, it's not a femur bone. It's just a deer bone. He just keeps coming down with toys over here.
We take him away. And he goes upstairs and grabs another.
And yeah, but she was in a suite. I don't even know who she was with, to be honest with you. I think we said like Snoop Dogg and
Yeah, it wasn't Ice Spice with the upside down cross
yeah,
this year.
Caitlin Clark or something.
And then it was like we were worried about the satanic imagery of the halftime show, and really you just couldn't understand a word the guy was saying
Yeah,
until the crowd said a minor when he called Drake a pedophile.
pedophile. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't call him a pedophile. He like didn't say the word, but the crowd finished it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like I said, I don't think rap translates,
To like arenas.
especially like
It should be indoors.
But he's not like he's pop. Don't get me wrong. He's popular and at the top of his game right now in
just
modern rap.
Not among 55-year-old white men watching football.
Exactly. Especially at the Super Bowl. Who's 55-year-old white men?
Yeah, who have enough money to go to the Super
Like
Bowl.
it doesn't translate.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I thought it was fine. And
Yeah, it was whatever. But it didn't seem like overly satanic, like Lady Gaga
No.
falling down from the moon of Saturn.
no,
and,
it was an oppressive message. Is everything I saw from the videos.
Yeah.
Like it was all a game. He had like the PlayStation controller.
Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
But
Whatever. I didn't even watch the game. I caught a little bit after the end. I fell asleep
Well-
in the first quarter, dude, and I was out.
I'll tell you, it sucked. It was probably the worst Super Bowl in recent memory, to be quite honest with you. It was one-sided, and like I was telling you a couple weeks ago, the game sucked, dude. It's not a good
product's
product.
terrible?
It's not a good product, dude. It was over at halftime.
Yeah.
Everybody knew it was over at halftime. And then the halftime show, I think that's why everybody was upset too, because it was just a shitty game. Like,
All right, 2 more minutes of football before we go to our scary podcast,
But-
because I'm sure people aren't here to hear about the game. But I did want to say, just about football, the tush push is a terrible play. It shouldn't exist, dude. It's horrible to watch.
You're
I
one of
know
those
they're better
people?
at it, but it is just so terrible to watch.
it's a football play, dude. It's 3 yards and a cloud of
Are
dust,
you
man.
telling me like the games are a horrible product to watch, dude? That makes the game a horrible product to watch, I think.
Because they do it on fourth down.
I mean, they could do it on 2nd and 6 and get a first down.
And get a first down. I would like to see them try. I mean,
Just do it the entire game.
Kansas City stopped Buffalo
Just try
doing
to
it. Right?
Yeah, it's very true.
Kansas City, South Buffalo.
If you don't agree with the spots, but what are you gonna do?
They don't leave it up to the referee to make a call.
Yeah.
Although
it's all rigged.
Still on the Super Bowl, the commercials this year. I know you said you missed a lot of it. It was really like conspiratorial. Like a lot of the commercials on there. Aliens, a lot of aliens. There were like 10 commercials that used aliens.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even get to see the commercials. I got to watch like a rerun of the Super Bowl, but I didn't see any of the commercials.
I'm sure when you're watching your sitcoms on CBS nowadays, I'm sure they're all commercials for that were shown during the Super Bowl. But Doritos, he was fighting an alien over the Doritos. Totino's Pizza Rolls, dude, he's fighting. It was like the guy from the sketch comedy. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that?
Oh, he's great. I gotta say, dude, like I was like, oh, this dude's so cheesy. This dude's whatever. And then I started watching. I started watching Detroiters, and I'm like, dude, this dude is so fucking
What's
funny,
his name?
dude.
So we got. Do you know his name?
Tim Robinson.
Tim Robinson. Yeah, Tim Robbins.
He's so Tim Robbins.
Maybe. Am I thinking of Jacob's Ladder over
here?
Yeah,
Tim Robbins from Jacob's Ladder.
Yeah. No, I'll give him. He's a spaz, dude, and it's funny.
He's funny.
It's a spaz, and he's funny.
Like my favorite is the. He's like, do you not know how to fucking drive? And he's just like, I don't know how to drive.
Yeah, it's just a spaz, dude.
He's like, I don't know. He's like, oh, just move the car.
Right. Very Chris Farley.
He's funny.
Very Chris Farley. But back on the commercials.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, a robot, like he had to charge his battery, like he just he died, and they put batteries in his arm.
Mm-hmm.
Chef Ramsay at Area 51 with his hex pan. Weird thing about that is that hex pan design, I guess, is like it got released in 2016 on a secret file from the government.
Okay.
Like the hex pan design.
Okay.
He started his company in 2016. Little weird technology. We're on to you, Chef Ramsay. We're on to you. Another one, little fucking weird. Liquid Death. Everybody knows what Liquid Death is.
The water, right?
Yeah, except they show pilots, cops, doctors, all drinking Liquid Death, dude. Like,
that is kind of like some weird imagery.
Yeah, of course, pilots and doctors and cops get fucking thirsty. Yes, but Liquid Death, dude. as we're witnessing all these plane crashes lately,
I know.
It's a crazy like. Hey, look at this. We're going to poke fun at it. And then next week, there's a fucking giant plane crash.
We're trying to put together the information on MH370 and that disappearance and everything. So we don't have it for you yet. We want to make sure we actually have some information because 95% of our stuff is very off the cuff and made up. And we want to have some actual facts for you because some of the new stuff coming out on MH370 is kind of wild.
It's kind of wild. And it goes hand in hand with the drones.
Yes. So that'll be an upcoming episode very soon. But that plane that just fucking crashed and ended up upside down.
That was a little weird.
What the fuck is happening?
Did you see the video of the guy like escaping the plane?
And they're like, "Put your phone off!" Like, take your phone off. Yeah. They're screaming at him, like taking a video.
How much money do you think that each person's gonna get?
Oh, dude, my back would be hurting walking off of that plane.
No shit.
I would have been rolling around on that ice.
I would have
tripped out the door, dude. Yeah. I would have fucking.
Oh yeah, everything.
I'm going hard.
Get me on camera, dude.
I'm gonna be sponsored by Delta, dude. I'm gonna have a car outside with a Delta fucking thing.
I'd imagine
on it, wrapped.
Imagine those are lawsuits. So everybody turn down. This ain't legal advice for you, but turn down any free tickets that they're offering you.
Yep, 100%.
and wait and get a lawyer and get a lawyer. How about the Fed files getting declassified? You see that?
It's messed up to me because like she's saying like we have a team to do this, and it's like, dude, there's a team of like conspiracy people that do the craziest, most in-depth research ever. Just put the shit out.
I know, right?
Just put the shit out. They'll figure it out. It'll be up on Twitter by tomorrow.
I know.
If you put it out,
it makes you think like, oh wait, what else are they going to withhold?
Exactly.
I mean, they're supposed to go into 9/11, JFK.
They're writing into ChatGPT right now.
Exactly.
Hey, what's the most conspiratorial thing I can put out in this report?
It's so fucking like fixed, dude.
Sorry, not ChatGPT. They're gonna use Elon's. They're gonna use Grok. Grok 3
Grok
just
3.
came out. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, Miss Luna she's a smoke show.
Oh,
she is a good-looking lady.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of following the story and seeing what she has to say.
Well, there's definitely been a transition in the Republican Party from Congress people getting lost and wandering into nursing homes to like bombshells.
Yeah. Even the secretary, the press secretary.
Oh yeah,
Caroline Leavitt, man. She's a dime piece, man.
insane.
I'm just sitting there watching it on
She's married to like a 64-year-old or something.
Really?
Oh yeah, some dude that's up there. She's a
Man.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm gonna put my name in that pool over there and maybe move to DC with all these houses going up.
Dude, you see that map?
I did see the
I
map.
think they said like 15%, 20% down.
Well, the prices are way down because they're just vacating
Because
it
they have property.
at a rampant.
And then someone else put up that like one of the top search things is like criminal defense attorney.
Oh, I believe
Like
it.
everyone's trying to get like
Yeah.
lawyers and things now.
Now, what we're referring to is if you go on like Realtor.com or whatever.
Yep, and just circle around the DC area.
DC
Just, like,
area.
they let you draw and then hit
Yeah.
search or whatever.
There's like a 25% increase of houses listed in the past week and a half.
Everyone's getting the fuck out.
You talk about draining the swamp, dude.
It's like we say, you can't trust Trump. The Israel fucking Achilles is still rough, but
Yeah.
when you see things like that, when the cockroaches start to scurry,
He's got another bone.
when the cockroaches start to scurry, it makes you feel a little good.
Yes. Yeah, it makes you think, especially when we talked about it before where it's like
You just gotta hope they're not replaced by the cockroaches from the other side.
you got to be wary. I mean, I guess the only battle for that is transparency and being as transparent as possible.
I hope. Yeah.
But I mean, like, what is the fine line of transparent? I mean, is there a fix, dude, to any of it?
I just want free speech. I just want people to not be canceled for things. I didn't like.
I think that's done.
People
though.
are getting lit up right now.
Is it?
No.
I think...
This is what I was gonna tell you something.
Okay.
This story. So, do you know the Terrifier movies?
Okay.
So Art the
Yep.
Clown.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a huge fucking battle right now, and obviously a lot of people that like these movies are, LGBTQ.
Fago guys.
They're a little off. Like, I mean, not. I don't want to say gay people are off, but I mean like.
Wow, that's a bombshell.
That's not what I meant by saying that, but like they're the.
They're whoop whoops.
There's a lot of like
Insane
younger
Cowboy.
people, Gen Z people who are very like. They see a lot of things in these movies, whatever.
So
the
it's
main
woke?
actor.
It's a woke.
I really want to edit this whole part out because I said it all wrong. I completely reject what I just said, but I'm just saying. Anyways, the lead actor, Art the Clown, right?
Okay.
The guy who plays him, David Howard Thornton, he came out and basically said like, he's super gay rights. He's super like this. Fuck everybody else, basically.
Okay.
So he's like the main actor, and it wasn't that bad. Like honestly, it was like fine. It like didn't change anything.
Hey.
But you have the director who wrote the fucking movie, right?
Yeah.
Damian Leone.
Okay.
And he came out and he put like the perfect like politically correct response. And this is just showing that you should never try to mediate a situation, and you should just shut the fuck up and make your movies because
Is he getting torn apart now?
destroyed. So he came out with this thing, and basically all he said was, "I have a lot of Republicans that work on my crew. I have a lot of Democrats that work on my crew, and if you're a decent person, we're cool." Is essentially his tweet.
Okay.
In a very long, like winded fucking paragraph.
I think 95% of people agree with that. Like,
You would think, except for the fucking Terrifier fans.
really?
So, dude got lit up.
Really?
And all I do is, like, look up these posts, and if you click on any post, because, we're a horror thing.
Yeah.
We search horror things. You're not
Yeah.
supposed to be a Republican if you're into horror, and we're not fucking Republicans.
I'm not Republican.
No, we're not Republicans. But you look at these things, man, and, like, the way they talk is just like, holy fuck, man. They're coming at this, dude.
Really?
In every fucking post, and everyone's like, and then there's a lot of posts that say, like, oh, horror is political, like, and yeah, 100% horror is political.
Right.
Like, They Live is like fucking
Right.
Wake Up, like, The Walking Dead, the black and white Walking Dead is like, race. They obviously
Right.
made the main character black for a reason and had
Yep.
him die at the end, get shot.
Right.
And horror, yeah, has always been, like, the place where you test out these, like, liberal ideas against, like, the fucking, like, overarching,
The
like,
system.
Yeah,
right.
Be like punk rock, like
Right.
fucking anti-system.
I
like
know.
all these things. Like horror has always been known to push that. So it's like everyone's trying to say like horror's always political, and like I agree with them to an extent. But Damon Leone's just saying my movie's about clowns that saw people in half. He's like, I allow Republicans to work on my fucking thing. There's a
Right.
dude that makes $60,000 holding a boom mic.
Right. That's
Like making this movie with me, and like the people that do the blood, like I'm
Right.
sure they're Republicans, like they do this thing, but He got fucking ate the fuck up, dude, by the horror community, and I'm disappointed to see it. Like I said, I'm not. I don't know what I am anymore politically, but I just.
Well, I told you.
I'm anti-government. It's
yeah,
really
it's anti-government.
Where it lands is like I'm anti anyone like telling me like
what to do, what to say.
Yeah,
yeah.
And I'm taking my money too. Like I am anti-taxes, which
right.
kind of pushes you a little more right than left.
But you're 90% of the people out there, dude.
Right.
I think. I
would think.
I think
any normal people
that doesn't
the bullhorn
right
of the people that make the content, especially like the people in our space, like that make horror content.
Right.
They have to preach and pander.
But isn't that the craziest thing, though?
But why don't you just be yourself? Like, 'cause I don't believe.
Exactly.
I don't think they're authentic. I don't believe the people that are coming at like people like saying like horror's always political and just horror is always political, but also like if something's political, that doesn't mean it can't be looked at from both sides.
Both sides, right?
Like you could look at things politically from both sides.
Right. Right. It's like a lot of like punk rock music. You say like it's left leaning or real liberal. Like it's not even left leaning. It's liberal. It's usually like communism. It's fucking anarchy. It's everything like that. But isn't like being part of a think group or a think tank is the opposite of being punk rock and being anarchy and
big time.
Like
big time. When you're the outcast group, like aren't you more punk rock?
Right.
And aren't you like I'm going to be my authentic self?
Right.
Isn't that the most punk rock thing to do?
But isn't the punk rock now the punk rock thing for him to do would be, hey, middle finger to everybody. This is my opinion. Fuck you, dude. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
But
care.
the problem is that people were mad that he didn't stick up for his actor, basically.
Yeah.
And the actor's allowed to say what he does, and I don't
exactly.
give a fuck. Let him fucking say it, whatever, dude.
But why does he have to say anything, too? You know what I mean? Like, this
and that's where I think he made the biggest mistake: is just shut the fuck up and make your movie, dude.
Yeah, just
those movies cost like $10,000 to make, dude, and they're making $80 billion.
Yeah, that's
those numbers are wrong.
Isn't that
you know what I'm saying?
Isn't that anti-woke right there, though?
Woo! Capitalism.
Being capitalistic.
No, but it's a very cheap movie to make, and it makes,
money
20-30x. Like Terrifier 3, like
and what movies make money anymore?
Exactly.
You know.
And they're just schlock movie. They're like they're old splatter punk.
Yeah,
movies.
they're splatters.
Like they're just like for like crazy violence scenes.
Right.
Like how can we cut this person in half and make things blow up?
Exactly.
Yeah, like
no thought in that.
Yeah, like
but apparently
people are like
is.
And then the other side is arguing like where's the political thing in the clown? And I'm like I just think they're arguing from the wrong spot because I don't think the director ever meant to say. Like, he did say, like, my movie's not political. But it's like, I don't think he really meant to, like, say, like, all horror is not political. He's just saying, I'm making a killer clown movie.
Right.
Relax.
I know. Enjoy it.
And everyone loved it.
Yeah.
And, like, literally, like, it was the most pushed movie on Twitter and everywhere for the longest time. And then as soon as you said that, like, all of a sudden everyone hates this movie now.
But this is, like I said, the problem with, like, echo chambers, dude.
Exactly.
And it's like, you see what...
But my bigger problem with the echo chamber is that, like, the horror, like, people, they pander to these people. Like, they never, like, give the honest opinion. Well, I just went and commented on things. I'm just like, all dude said was, like, I'm cool if you're on either side if you're a decent person.
Right.
That sounds like the most... He just grabbed another toy, didn't he? Yep. This dog's never going to stop bringing toys down here. But anyways, that was one thing I wanted to bring up and just...
Yeah, like I said, dude, I
big
don't...
horror news.
It sucks that we live in this time period, like, because you do need social media and a social media presence. But where you're going to get... castrated because you fucking have an opinion that's different than your base. Yeah, is that a problem?
Yeah.
Like,
if you love the movie, why do you hate the movie now afterwards?
Yeah, if you liked the movie?
Yeah, like I liked watching Terrifier and Terrifier 2. Like,
who cares?
Because the actor came out and said like "fuck you" if you don't like gay people.
But it's the same thing with
I don't care. Like, cool.
But it's the same thing with the right wing, though. It's like Tom Hanks, dude.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Not watch Forrest Gump anymore?
Yeah, or Saving Private Ryan. Like, dude, one of the greatest war movies of all time.
Yeah,
it's like Tom Hanks.
He drinks baby's blood. Right. He can still enjoy his art.
Right. But artists are supposed to be wacky and like I said,
don't fucking hinder things, dude. The most punk rock thing you can be is to just be yourself.
Right.
And just be authentic.
Be authentic. And guess what? If you don't like it, don't watch it.
There you go.
That's it, dude.
It's simple as shit.
There's so much to like even like I'm huge into comedy, dude.
Yep.
And like how many comedians that will get fucking canceled.
Yep.
And it's like, dude, if you don't like what they're doing, there's 12,000 other comedians that you could go and watch.
Easy.
To go watch them. You don't need to stand up and be the fucking I can't think of it right now. The movie with the Rob Lowe where he's a Manchurian Candidate. Not Rob Lowe, but the Manchurian Candidate. I know I had a.
I'm lost. I don't know where you're going.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you know how I'm just saying, you don't have to stand up and be the Manchurian Candidate and be like,
right.
I don't agree, I disagree with you.
Right.
No, dude, who cares? Like,
Yeah,
sit back down, enjoy the show. If you don't like it, leave.
it's that simple.
It's that simple. I don't know. I hate that.
And another thing about that too is like, I mean, maybe I'm not the most creative person in the world. I like to be, and I like to like think like I'm like creative, and I want to make things. But like, I think like once art is out there, like you don't own it anymore. Like people can interpret it in any way they want.
Any way they want, right?
Like if I look at something and see like a movie a different way than you do,
Right,
doesn't make anyone like
or wrong,
like.
Right.
Or it doesn't mean that I can't enjoy that movie for what I see it as versus you enjoying it for what you see it as.
Exactly.
Like,
wait, hold on. You're saying that it could have more than one meaning?
You're saying that people interpret art?
Wait.
Don't they build fucking institutions for people to study how to interpret art?
Could,
Why do you only allow to interpret art one way?
You could have an opinion, and I can have an opinion?
What?
That's insane. Now, this is wrong. But, and then another thing is it goes through, like, colleges used to be, like, a place to think and have free thought and express ideas, and now it's just like it's one idea coming out of there.
It's all it is.
It seems like it's only one idea, and
it sucks because yes, horror is 100% political, and it is like a media space. So obviously, the people that are writing and shooting these things are coming from liberal arts colleges. They are going to always be a little more left
wing, right?
But horror was always like this genre that you could push the weirdest shit.
Right.
Like you could put weird ideas
you go weird,
on screen,
right?
And people could think,
right?
Like completely, like strange things, because horror is the only genre you can do that. You can't, analyze like things in a rom-com. You can't analyze like what happens if this person's arm gets cut off and this and this and this person's infected with this and
right.
And yeah, there's allegory to AIDS and there's allegory to all this and the thing, and everyone wants to bring up all the political things. There's 100 things, but when I look at They Live and like Stay Asleep, Stay Woke Up,
right.
I almost see that as kind of like an anti-left thing. Even though John Carpenter was clearly against the Reagan administration and like he was very like anti like the media during that time.
Right.
I see all the parallels to the media today. And people not waking up and people falling in line with what they're seeing.
It's kind of like a mind virus, dude.
But I'm saying is I can watch They Live.
Right.
And I can find a different meaning into it than was intended by the director originally.
It's also 45 years after the you know what I mean?
And I'm saying it still holds up, and it's still something to think about.
Right.
That truly makes it a great piece of art. Like,
right.
It's an amazing movie.
But it's the same way...
And I like to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
At the bank. It's politics, though, that way, too. They swung in this... Well, just think of... we're going to have a history lesson, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh.
But... Democrats were the Ku Klux Klan back in the day.
Right.
They assassinated Lincoln. You know what I mean? The Republican.
Right.
The progressive. Everybody hated Lincoln back in the day.
Yep.
And now it's like he's looked upon fondly as a great leader, a time changer.
Yep.
And
then you go to the 60s, and it's like, oh, the Republicans were awful.
And now the Republicans are the hated ones, the stiffs.
And they're trying to make, like, you can't listen to this music, and you can't watch this movie. And then the liberals are like, oh, they're fighting against these things.
Here's the counterculture. Here's the music. Here's the rock. Here's the peace and love.
So don't buy into the WWE of left versus right.
Right.
Fucking take every issue as one thing.
Right.
And talk it out.
What makes sense?
Every issue is its own thing.
Right.
Don't block things. And I think that's where like a culture we've gotten to is everything's in a block.
Well, everybody wants every reason is right or wrong. And everybody needs a yes or no.
And it fits into a column.
And it's not like life ain't like that.
No.
It doesn't fit one way or another.
It's the same thing with like an omnibus spending bill.
Yeah.
When you shove everything into the bill and you name it the unicorns and puppy bill.
Right.
And there's 3 good things and 19 things that are just murdering you.
Yeah. Well, then it's bad. It's heavily bad.
But I'm just saying,
and it doesn't work.
It's like you can't take everything as a lump sum. Everything should be an individual basis, and everything should be, and that makes conversation more interesting because it's hard to have conversation with people who are just one thing.
Right. No, I agree. But you can't
not one thing.
Rather. Not one thing.
They're blocked.
You can't have cookie cutter conversations, dude.
Yeah.
And like I said,
well, it's a block, so you can literally like just follow a fucking program, dude. Like,
but like I said, this conversation right now.
If they said this, if I walk in and they say I'm like anti this, I'm like, I already know exactly which stem of conversation to go to talk to this person.
It's cookie.
They are going to offer nothing interesting to me.
It's cookie cutter.
Yeah,
it's safe. And like right now, this conversation.
But it's not even safe. I mean, like it's safe, but okay. If I talk to even like, all right, I talk to the most liberal person in the world, and they're gonna say like college should be free. Okay, as soon as this person says college should be free for everybody, I know exactly how to talk down this conversation. Now I go to the other side and I say, college
should be paid.
Build the wall, build this, do this, like whatever. I get this. I know exactly how that conversation goes, and I know how the line.
Right.
It's like, why? Let's talk about each thing, and everyone should have different opinions about different things.
You would think.
But no, they just have one line, dude.
Well, it's either you're on this line or
I'm
you're
like
on that line.
I'm drawing fucking lines on the table right now, if you guys could see it.
But like I said, even this conversation that we're having right now is going to offend people.
Yeah.
And people are going to disagree with you.
Yeah, and it sucks because I wanted to go to horror conventions and I wanted to talk to like
but
a lot of these people because I love this
it shouldn't,
stuff and I love the art.
Shouldn't stop you.
It shouldn't. We
just
go.
Yeah,
and then when people scream at you, you just smile in their face like that the Indian dude beating the drum in front of that kid.
Or you tell them to shut the fuck up, dude. Because there's no response to that. You just get shut up. How are they going to say? They're not going to say anything.
I just go Tim Robbins.
Yeah, just yeah, exactly. Then who's
sure about that?
Who's the psycho now? You know what I mean? Like, two could play this game, bud. Like, like I said, it's kind of garbage, dude. And like I said, and that's where I'm like totally done with that shit. Where
I know. You've definitely been more done with it.
I don't care. Like I'm gonna tell you.
I like to listen about the individual things. Like I said, I'll listen. I'll find the podcast. I listen to both sides. I try to find like the individual thing, and I try to make an informed opinion. But at the end of the day, dude, we're getting old. I just want to enjoy my life, man. Like, what are you gonna do? You can't change anything,
and you're not changing anybody's opinion either.
That's the biggest thing.
No matter how hard I beat my drum on one thing.
Yeah, like I said, once you get that initial answer to a question,
it's over.
There's no changing that person.
I'm not changing that person, dude. Yeah. I'm not. No. Whatever I say now I'm going to spend 20 minutes arguing with this guy on a fucking phone? No. It's over, dude. Like I said, it's such a crazy like concept.
I know. And that's why, like I said, in our podcast, I always try to like tend towards leaning to, I want to talk about ghosts.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about the afterlife, death, and fucking all that weird stuff, all the urban legend stuff. Like, I enjoy those things, and I think they're accessible to everybody still. I think, like, I don't think you need to be on a political side to fucking enjoy the robber baron of Utah, dude, or whatever the fuck we're talking about this week.
But like I said, I don't think this should be off limits either, though, because...
No, I enjoy talking about this, too.
Because I do. I mean, current events, dude, you talk about it. There's only so many ghost stories we could talk about that are different. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, and if you guys look on Apple, if you're listening to this podcast on Apple, there's literally a button under here that says send a text, and it will send a message to Buzzsprout.
Really?
And I will read Buzzsprout's where our podcast is like streamed through.
Yeah, maybe.
It'll send it right to Buzzsprout. Give us a fucking credit for that, Buzzsprout.
Give us a like
and talk to us.
A rating.
Tell me what you want to hear, or if you wanted to be on and you had a ghost story you wanted to tell.
Yeah,
I would love to hear from some people.
I think that would be a really cool episode. Is just like have like people
get 10 ghost stories. Dude, just like
from random people.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Send us your ghost story,
and we just do a whole episode.
Yeah, or we even like we're in a process of making a website, guys.
Yes, going on 2 years.
as you see how busy we are. But we are in the process of making a website. So that would be like a real cool like forum thing to have people send stories to. But hey, reach out to us on Twitter or X.
Yes.
Or TikTok.
Yeah.
Or
we're everywhere.
And make sure you're subscribed to the podcast, guys, because it helps us out.
I know. Every
Get the message
helps
out.
Us.
Tell your mom. Tell your mom there's two guys with a blowhard. They're two blowhards. They talk about fucking headlines and ghosts.
Talk about dying.
Talk about dying. What else we got here? Oh, how about Rand Paul, the libertarian?
He's the only guy I trust in the government.
Yeah, his father I did.
I still like Rand.
Yeah, you still like Rand?
I think it is kind of wild that his neighbor just like fucking sent him to the hospital.
Because he's a nerd, dude. This is what I tell you. These people are nerds, man.
That's the one thing about libertarians is that they're so right on everything, but they're so bad at being an alpha.
Oh yeah,
or like
they're all
having
subs,
the delivery.
dude. They're all subs.
Because you could just tell, like, the neighbor came over and was, like, trying to talk to Rand, and Rand was just like, well, you see, if you look at the articles of this, he says, if you look at freedom, and, and he's right about everything. The neighbor's just like, I'm going to hit this dude with a fucking bat.
Get out of here, dude. You little pest. They want to.
I love Rand Paul.
They want to audit Fort Knox, though. Now, do you know anything about Fort Knox?
It's just the gold stash.
It's supposed to be the gold stash.
Yeah.
I guess they had...
Obviously, all our money's backed by it. You know that, right?
Well, no. And that came off the gold standard in 1971, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Tricky Dick was the one that took us off that. And ever since, inflation and... Well, all right, you want to hear a crazy one?
Yeah.
Think about America pre-1971. Yes, for you liberal folks out there, there was racism.
Yep.
Racism is bad.
Racism's bad.
But America was prospering.
The country, yeah, it was rich.
Country was rich.
We didn't have debt.
Infrastructure.
Neck.
Roads were being built. Trains were all over the place. Transportation was taking off.
Yep.
Jobs were aplenty. Manufacturing here in this country. Detroit as a city. Think about Detroit as a city. They had the most millionaires in 1950.
Yep. Because of all the cars we made.
A city like Buffalo.
Yep.
Had the most millionaires in 1900 because of steel and flour.
And Niagara Falls being here.
And Niagara Falls. And the Erie Canal.
Yeah.
But these cities were mammoth. New Orleans, prospering. Wasn't poor. Wasn't everything.
Yep.
What happened after 1970? Manufacturing started leaving. There was no backing behind the dollar.
Took us off the gold standard.
And things started getting progressively shittier.
Yep.
In this country. People started losing jobs. Jobs started going away. Well, our gold, they're supposed to have 4,820 tons of gold at Fort Knox. Do you know how much an ounce of gold is right now?
No.
A tick below 3,000. This is hundreds of billions and trillions of dollars, dude. 4,820 tons. So that's 2,000 pounds.
Wow.
Each. So think about that, dude.
That's supposed to be in Fort Knox.
What is it?
But no one actually believes it's there anymore.
The last time they audited it, had a walkthrough.
Yeah.
No one ever audited it.
Right.
Was 1974. They actually let like a couple congressmen walk through.
Oh, really?
And they had like, who knows if it was real or fake or anything.
Yeah.
Or if it was just a thing.
Right.
But they supposedly saw it, and that was the last time Fort Knox was opened up to anybody. I mean, other than the guards there or whatever.
It's wild.
But no one's ever audited it. So I guess they're going to try to audit Fort Knox. And then if anybody's a precious metals guy, I'm into precious metals a little bit. Good thing to hedge inflation. There's a thing when you trade on the stock market, like if you ever see the price of gold or whatever like that, those are paper trades when you see the number.
Yeah.
If you ever bought a stock before, let's say like if you bought Tesla, there's an ask and there's a buy.
Right.
Or there's a sell and there's an ask.
Mm-hmm.
Those are paper transactions. Paper transactions right now for gold and silver are 6 months post-dated. There's not enough gold to fill these orders right now.
So that means a lot of people are buying it
Seems like a little bit of manipulating.
Or that.
I heard that they're bringing in over 2,000 or 2 tons on every plane that comes out of England into the United States.
Really?
That's what I was hearing. I mean, I don't know if that's a myth or a rumor or whatever to fill it up, that they're expecting
an
audit at Fort Knox. Yeah, but they can't fill gold orders. They're like 6,000 or 6 months behind in gold orders.
That's nuts.
Little is that manipulating the price of it because it went up $1,000?
Yeah, if you're saying there is none.
A little weird.
Yeah, that's tough.
I don't know.
I wanted to show you something.
Okay.
Are we good on the Rand Paul audit?
That's all I got.
So have you heard of these cave divers?
Yeah.
So the internet wins again, but dude, if you watch some of these videos, dude, they're the best. They're on TikTok and they're on Twitter, and it'll be like,
is it an animation one?
There's animation ones, but there's like real videos or whatever. But it'll show these dudes. I gotta show you one of these videos, but it'll be like a dude, and he'll be looking at like a hole, like in the wall, like from like a nail or whatever.
Right.
And he'll be looking at it, and then he'll come back and get his bag, and then he's like measuring, and then the shoes will be on the wall like he
jumped in.
And then there'll be other videos, and they'll be like, I'm at the devil's butthole right now. He's like, and they're like, I just shedded off the bottom layer of my skin. Jesus. They're just fantastic, dude. All these videos, I encourage everyone to go check these out. They fucking crack me up.
I saw one today that was animated.
Yeah.
And it was a guy, he was like, he dropped his flashlight, so it like started off like seriously.
Yeah.
It was like in 2012, Mark went down this hole, and he was cave diving, and it was like a tunnel or whatever where, you ever see those videos where they only have like, they're like wiggling themselves through the cave, like the cave?
Yep.
And it was like an animation, and it was like, he dropped his only flashlight, and then he dropped his lunch. Now he's heading down shit stream pipe.
Yeah.
And he falls down shit stream pipe because he couldn't see. And then he's like, his head submerged in the stream for the next 6 days, and he never woke up or whatever. And it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. And then he's like, he heard a car arrive, but the car was only there to impound his car because he forgot to pay his. And it just kept rolling down, getting worse and worse and worse.
Cave divers for literally no reason. He's got the fucking tape measure.
That is funny.
That's like the big meme now. They just put the shoes.
Yeah, I can never do it. I heard a horror story because like I was thinking about getting into welding when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I remember hearing, underwater welders always make a shitload of money. Well, you ever see
you do always hear that.
You always hear that, right? Well, they do.
What kind of propaganda is in the fucking underwater welding, dude?
They do make.
They got a massive
shitload.
propaganda campaign going.
But the one video I saw where they had to create like it's like they drop a bubble and they have to create like a negative pressure on the pipe.
Yeah.
So let's say like the pipe is like 50 feet underwater, and they have to go inside the pipe, dude, or go on the outside of the pipe and weld it. But before they get in, they have to create like a negative vacuum.
Yeah.
And if there's a seal, dude, and everything goes wrong, that pressure is so fucking strong.
It blows you up.
No, it sucked them all down through the pipe.
Oh, fuck.
So then they had no flashlights on. There were like 3 of them ended up dying. One guy ended up getting out. But they were down there, pitch black, dude. You're stuck in a fucking pipe. They were like trying to get out. Dude, it's nightmare shit, dude. And I'm like, that's it. That's it for fucking underwater welding, man. I'm good.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you've seen like these fucking cave diver things. Like the one dude died. Like he just like
yeah.
Dude, it's so easy to die though.
No shit. Why would he do it?
Like, why would you ever do that?
But it's like the same thing of jumping out of a plane, dude. It's like you don't have enough of an adrenaline rush.
Yeah, dude. At least you hit the ground though, man. That beats fucking scraping your body and starving to death.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If something goes wrong, but why am I even doing it in the first place?
Yeah.
Do I have no excitement in my life? You know what
But I'm just saying, dude, if I'm gonna play and dude, I'm gonna hit the ground, it's over. Like it's not like I'm gonna be here for 3 weeks, dude. And I'm gonna drink some of this fucking dirty water down here for 3 weeks.
Drink with water, dude? You probably get like
There's no way you're not drinking the water, dude. You're so to be thirsty, dude. You're gonna drink the fucking water.
You ain't drinking no water.
I guarantee you.
Can't even see. Dude.
Poll on Twitter, dude. How many people are gonna drink the fucking water if you're stuck cave diving? If you got caught?
You're not finding the water, dude. It's gonna be pitch black in 8 hours, dude. Your flashlight's gonna burn out. You ain't getting to no water, dude.
Dude, the water's usually around you.
It's around you now?
Yeah, let's just say you're submerged, dude. You're stuck. You can't move.
Yeah.
You're gonna end up drinking the water.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm gonna drink the water.
Yeah.
But it's not pleasant.
And then you're gonna survive for another fucking 2 weeks. And
I don't think so, man. I think I just start bashing my head on the fucking ceiling and rock above me.
It's got dark
before I drink the water.
Real dark.
I'm already in hell, dude. I don't see anything. Think about that. That's hell, dude. Why would you even do that? Never.
It doesn't make sense.
Never. Not jumping out of a plane.
But
not
I love
going
the
bungee
memes.
jumping.
And they'll put like the memes will put when a grown man with a full wife and kids at home needs to fucking feel the excitement of being pushed into a fucking hole the size of a peanut.
Dude, all you got to do is buy a plane ticket to Tulsa nowadays, dude, and you get a fucking thrill falling out of the sky nowadays.
Oh, Jesus
Christ. On the planes.
I didn't know you were going with that.
That's a plane joke. That went right over his head.
I didn't know you were going with
That's
that.
all you got to do now. $200, dude. Take a plane ride to fucking Tulsa. You might not.
What do you think about Sam Tripoli's theory that they just don't want you flying?
There could be something to it, man.
Because I'll tell you, dude, I've flown 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and I've flown recently.
Yeah.
And it's night and day, dude.
Really?
Like, they have made it so terrible to fly.
Isn't?
Everything about it is absolutely terrible. My last 2 flights.
Yeah, but you always do layovers, though.
Both my connectings got fucking delayed.
Like, can't you just fucking buy direct?
In this economy?
Well, you get what you pay for. I mean, I
I'm
don't
just
know.
saying, though, like, how many delays, dude? Dude, it's nothing but delays. Like,
Yeah.
what is wrong that they can't run on time? Because they never had problems. I always flew connecting.
But
And I'm giving myself 2-hour leeways, like, in connecting.
Yeah.
And we're still missing flights, dude. And not even to mention that, but just everything's terrible. The entire experience of flying is awful.
Is it a volume thing nowadays? Is it a company trying to make the most
You don't think
money
so,
possible?
So you're not on Sam's side that they don't want you to fly? You don't think it's done purposely?
It could. I mean,
They're trying to make double-decker planes and squish the fucking space even more. Because apparently everyone just seems to be saying the airlines are losing money every year.
Yeah, they always lose money.
So I don't think they want you to fly, dude.
No, well, I think they want you to fly. I mean, of course they want you to buy the ticket. They can't guarantee you getting there, though.
I think
It's more profitable for them to crash
depends
the
how many
plane.
subsidies they're getting from the government. But
Oh, that's going to be
I'm just
stopped.
saying, is the government not wanting you to fly?
Well, yeah, I think the tie-in is 15-minute cities.
That's what I'm saying.
I
They
mean-
want to keep you in your small community. They want
Right.
want to be able to
No reason to talk to the guy in Texas and see what's happening.
exactly. It's like divide and conquer, I guess.
There.
But
Keep
like
you separated.
consolidate people and keep them in this bubble
Well,
where we can watch them.
Well, like I
It's
said,
like when you put a fucking gate up for your dog, dude, so he can't go see the rest of your house, man. You're just like, we're gonna cordon these people off in this little section,
right,
and then we have the ability to monitor and watch them.
right. Yeah, well, like I said, I think COVID was a trial run.
Yep.
See what they could get away with control, and see what they could get away with how you participate with it.
Yep. But to play devil's advocate too, I looked at it. There was another picture, and I don't know if it's real because I didn't do good research. But there was a picture that said we're actually like down to 1/3 of the crashes of last year at this time.
Well, it's been like 14 years since there was a plane crash in North America. Now there's been 5.
Yeah,
So you might be looking at a stat where it's like worldwide,
worldwide, I think.
which they occur. I mean, I remember
Yeah.
a hockey team that was like in the KHL or whatever. The whole plane went down. Pavel Demitra was on that.
Right.
There was an NHL hockey player that died on that team.
Yeah. What about the Yellow Jackets?
Right.
You ever
Yeah.
watch that show?
No, I never did. No, I don't. I don't watch it.
No, I figured.
I don't watch it. Why? What is that? Is that
So, well, you know the book Alive, the male soccer team that crashes and they
in
end up having
Brazil
to
or
eat each
whatever?
other.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but Yellow Jackets is like a new show. It's been on for. It just the new season just came out.
Is it
but
a
it's like
women's-
it's a girls soccer team
Oh, girl soccer team.
that
Oh, okay.
crashes and then they end up like killing and eating
Why
each other.
didn't you just do Alive then? Why didn't you do the real story?
Because then you can't use Juliette Lewis, dude. Juliette Lewis is the shit.
Is she?
I love Juliette Lewis. Like she's one of my favorite actors. Like Natural Born Killers. Like
Oh, okay.
Woody Harrelson, Juliette Lewis. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, guess if it works.
it's a good show. It's a good show anyway. Check it out.
It's the only time anybody's paying attention to women's soccer, anyways.
It's like a high school soccer team. I'm not paying attention to any soccer. I'm an American.
I know.
Speaking of America,
Hockey?
hockey.
Man. That got me excited.
And hey, full disclosure, I was born in Canada.
Yeah, I know.
And I was born American in Canada, and I got the luckiest ticket in the world that I didn't have to live into a communist, socialist shithole.
Yeah,
I got to come
pretty
live
bad.
in the greatest country in the world, and we made that known in Montreal
Yeah.
just recently.
Well, it started. I don't know if you've been paying attention to it, but it's it's called like the 4 Nations tournament now or something like that.
Yep.
And the NHL made this instead of, they used to have the Canada Cup back in the day, where it was kind of an in-season tournament for national teams.
Right.
So it would be like, oh, you get to play for Team Canada.
Yeah,
there
playing
was
against Poland, playing against Spain,
Russia,
playing against,
U.S. I mean, I don't think Poland ever had a team,
Yeah.
but
I'm just making shit up.
yeah, Sweden,
Why
Finland,
would Poland
everybody.
have a team? There's a lot of ice in Poland.
Yeah, they're not good. I think the last Polish player I think that was born in Poland was Oleg Trebodowski. That's a little fast fact for you.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's not too many Poles. Usually Slovakians, Czech Republican.
That's strange that it didn't make it to Poland.
I don't know.
Like, where's the yeah?
Yeah, it's all like Slovaks. Slovaks are better.
Yeah.
Czechs are better.
Weird.
Yeah, but they're like the same people, all under that iron wall of the
Yeah.
USSR back in the day. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all Eastern Bloc,
Yeah.
tough, rugged. Yeah, I don't know why Poland never had a big
it's kind of weird. Like, you would think they would be good at hockey.
No. Yeah, Germany had a team. I know Germany had a national team. But yeah, they used to have the Canada Cup back in the day.
Maybe they're too clumsy on skates.
Maybe. How many Poles does it take to have a hockey team? Maybe that's the joke. We're Polish, by the way.
Yeah, we're both. Our mothers are both 100% Polish.
There was a so they had the Canada Cup. Then they ended up getting rid of that because there was a fight actually between Canada and Russia that ended it. There was like a big brawl.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was like, oh, what a disgrace! What a disgrace! They can't have that in the game. You know, they didn't like it. So now instead of having an all-star game, they put together this tournament because NHL players don't go to the Olympics anymore. They haven't gone since 2014.
They don't want them to get hurt.
They don't want them to get hurt, and the NHL makes no money off the Olympics.
Oh, and they got to loan their people out. For
and
like
they
2
loan
weeks
out
like,
I'm going to have my Connor McDavid go
superstar,
there.
yeah.
And I'm not making any money on it. And God forbid he breaks his leg. Now he's out 8 months or 8 weeks here.
Right.
That screws our product, you know? So they couldn't come to a deal. So to have these guys, which is a cool thing to like put on a sweater of your nation.
Yeah.
Like it's a pride thing. Like, oh, I'm playing for Canada. I'm playing for Sweden. It's a cool thing for any player.
Yeah.
Especially when you grow up and you watch the Olympics, you see the great moments that happen.
Doesn't it just show the amazing contrast between like the NBA and the NHL?
Well, the NHL, what they did was this is the first W that they had in a long time, dude.
Yeah.
Their All-Star game was terrible. It used to mean something to be an All-Star.
Yeah.
In all the leagues. Now the NFL's a flag football league.
Terrible. The NBA one,
unwatchable.
I just caught it at work. I watched like 2 minutes, and I'm like, what the hell am I watching?
It's unwatchable. It's a YMCA game. It's terrible.
It's not even YMCA.
Yeah,
at least you get content.
Yeah, you'll get a better game at the Y, dude, than watching what they put on. And they make $50, $60 million a year. The NHL comes out. There's drama. You have Canada, which is this tournament took place in Montreal for the first 3 games, I think it was.
Yeah, so let's just speak as a Canadian, a natural-born Canadian.
Yeah.
French Canadians are a little different. They don't even really consider themselves Canadian. They want to be their own thing.
Yes.
So the fact that with our government ramping up the rhetoric that, hey, Canada should be the 51st state.
Right.
It's just adding fuel to the fire to these separatists in French Canada, and they booed our national anthem.
They booed.
But they boo it every year.
Well,
but this year specifically...
Yeah, there was especially being a national tournament. It happened a couple years ago with Montreal and Boston, the Bruins and the Canadians in the playoffs, where Montreal was booing.
French Canadians have no respect for anybody.
But even like English-speaking Canada really don't care for the French. like
Ontario doesn't like French Canadians.
And that's a rivalry in itself when Montreal plays Toronto.
Yes.
It's huge. I mean, they were booing Austin Matthews, and that was even more draw of it.
Yeah.
Austin Matthews, who is the American captain, plays for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
So this is just some context for the Americans watching this game thinking, like, oh, it's the Canadians because of Trump.
Right.
But it's a lot of also just French Canadians are separatists.
Yes.
And they don't want to be a part of Canada.
Right.
Which also they don't want to be a part of America. So it's like a whole thing.
So they booed them at the first game. I think U.S. played Finland. And they because it's in Montreal. The whole tournament was in Montreal.
Right.
They booed the U.S. national anthem, the teams that were there. And it's hockey, so they're going to go and watch the games or whatever.
Yep.
And they booed, and they're rooting for Finland. USA fucking whoops some ass. Then they get to play Canada the next night. And boy, oh boy.
Man, that meme, dude, where it's like me talking about the U.S. government, and it's like, oh, everything's evil, the government's evil, the taxes are terrible, like I hate this, everything's racist, everything's awful.
USA,
and then it's
baby.
like one foreigner tells me something bad about the USA, and then all of a sudden he's wearing the fucking George Washington hat. He's got the Constitution and an AK, and he's like all American. Yes. That's what happened at that fucking moment.
It was awesome.
When the U.S. stepped into the rink with Canada.
And I'm a giant hockey fan, dude. You can tell. That fired me up, dude. And not even just like being an American, like USA hockey, but just as a hockey fan, like what a start.
Violence.
What a start. And I love Don Cherry, old Canadian Hockey Night in Canada, guys, for any of our listeners out there. He was a coach, Boston Bruin. He was on a talk show for many years on Hockey Night in Canada. Yep. Biggest program in the country. He tweeted out, he goes, I thought you people don't like fighting anymore. So what a W for Grapes. I love it. Dude, it was awesome. It was hard hitting.
Yep.
It was and then what made it even special too is the two brothers, the Chuck brothers, both on Team USA. Like,
it's awesome.
Right at the beginning, it was awesome.
What a win for America.
We get to watch it again Thursday, Canada versus US. So it's must-watch television.
That's exciting.
It is exciting,
yeah.
But a lot of injuries, I guess.
Still in Montreal?
No, it's in Boston this time.
Ooh, I like that.
It's in Boston.
I like that.
So,
like I said, I'm talking shit on Canada. I'm glad I'm an American, and obviously this is the greatest country in the world. But I did always respect that Canadians did always love their country. Yeah. Like, that's one thing. They have very much pride in their country.
Go watch their national anthem. Go watch the Canadian
when they reopened and
no, just watch the national anthem
of
that game. Of that game.
Oh,
Go watch the Canadian national anthem.
Correct.
The entire arena singing it, dude.
Yeah.
It was one of, like I said, I'm a giant hockey fan.
Yeah.
And the best sporting event I've ever went to was a World Junior U.S. versus Canada hockey game.
Yep.
And the
right
atmosphere,
on the border,
it was amazing.
Where you had Canada and America together.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
But yeah, obviously tongue-in-cheek talking shit about Canada. But I know most Canadians are pretty anti-Trudeau at this point, and that's the reason why he's needing to resign, and he can't even walk out in public.
It seems like a lot of, like Toronto, other than Toronto and Montreal, a lot of that country don't like him.
Like I said, I have my qualms with Canada. The healthcare system specifically probably played a large part in my grandfather's death. They gave my mother the wrong baby after she had me in Canada.
Now, do you know anything about their assisted suicide?
There's a lot of stories. And it's hard to confirm how crazy it is. But a lot of the scary things are like when you have young 18, 19-year-old kids and
assisted suicide.
And it's almost, in the words of the parents. Like I said, I can't confirm this, and I don't want to speak out of turn in the medical system, but it seems like it's encouraged in a lot of terms. And there's been stories of people going in saying, I need a Lift bar, or I need this to get around my house, and they're offering suicide to these people.
Yeah.
Which is
a little odd.
Sick.
A little odd, dude.
And I'm not going to argue the merits of whether you should be allowed to take your own life or whatever, but it seems a little weird when someone comes in for help and wants medical care, and you're pushing a different product.
It seems like a cost preventative measure.
It does.
There was a doctor on Kill Tony. That's what made me bring it up.
Okay.
And she was Canadian, a Canadian doctor.
Yep.
And he asked her about it because he's like, I'm writing a bit about it.
Right.
And she was real weird about it. She didn't know.
That's the thing. It's hard to it's hard to parse out how widespread things are and how pinpoint things are.
Yeah, she was.
And Canada's such a large country with such space in between.
Right.
Its major areas.
Right.
Toronto, 1 in 9 Canadians exists in the Greater Toronto area.
Right.
So the entire country,
right? It's 30 million people
are in the Greater Toronto area: Mississauga, Brampton, Toronto. Right.
There's only 30 million people in that.
I'm
the
getting
size.
A Canadian accent talking about these things.
Yeah, I know it's coming out of you. Actually, there's a maple syrup coming out of his nose. But yeah, it's he asked her and was like, yeah. She was like, oh well, if they're in pain, well, what type of pain? Emotional pain, is that considered pain? It was a little weird, watching her, and she got real nervous. And then it's like, oh wait, hold on, she's an employee of the government, so it's
hard to say anything,
right? Yeah. And I'm like,
that's the scariest thing about Canada to me is their anti-free speech thing. The fact that they were able to close people's bank accounts down during those trucker protests, when they would actually siphon gas out of the truckers' trucks so they couldn't stay warm during these protests.
Yeah, it's a little
when
weird.
You talk about weaponizing police and the government against citizens of your own country,
right?
And then the craziest thing, that Trudeau came out and said they're all racist, white-ring, fascist Nazis.
Yeah.
When they're Canadians.
I know.
Let's be real. They're fucking Canadians.
I know.
That's such a far, cry from...
But that seems like what happens when you don't fall in line.
And that's what happens when you don't have free speech.
Yeah.
It's my biggest thing. It's my... Like I said, that's my hill to die on. Well, we talked about analyzing art. We talked about this. But if you don't have the right to say... You don't have the right to talk and the right to disseminate information without being arrested. We have a problem.
Well, I don't think people realize how lucky we are. Speaking of free speech, though, there was a 60 Minutes piece about Germany and their free speech laws.
Oh, man, that thing was that was bonkers, their reaction. Like, they just had no qualms about, like, answering that question the way they did.
So if you didn't see the piece or whatever, and like I said, I'm not a 60-minute guy, but I guess this is like kind of CBS's retaliation against J.D. Vance about how he was.
He went to Germany and had that big speech.
And had a
about
speech.
Free speech.
Yes.
And about how, like, Europe has kind of lost its way.
Yes. And 60 Minutes ran a thing showcasing, like, the arrest warrants that were going after people that posted on social media sites and arresting them and, like, confiscating their laptop, their phone, their hard drives, for posting a meme.
Yep.
And the one meme that they showed was like, it's satire. You got to be fucking a little sick in the head to think it's funny. But it was about illegal immigrants.
Yeah.
And it was about, maybe the children should go play on the electrical lines.
Right. Like, yeah, sick.
We see that on X, dude.
You see
fucking
weird, yeah.
10 times worse than that.
Right.
And this is like they're holding a case file on these people and they're arresting them for it.
Yeah, they're coming into your house with a fucking SWAT team.
Right. Which is insane, and it's like what you can't because there was an assassin.
And for everyone who's far on the left and is pro censorship, that is just like, just imagine you posted that Donald Trump's a piece of shit, and now all of a sudden you're getting swatted and someone's coming into your house and shooting your dog.
Yeah, the FBI's coming to your house.
Yeah, like just imagine that. Like, I mean, it's the same fucking thing. It comes back on you.
It's
like,
insane.
Censorship is bad for everyone.
Everybody.
For everyone.
Everybody.
It only benefits your ruling class.
The people in power. That I can't be. And I guess there was a right-wing Nazi or neo-Nazi that assassinated a political guy there.
Yeah.
And that's why they're like, free speech caused this.
Yes, yeah.
But the lady on CBS to just sit there and like agree with them.
It's crazy.
And she was like, free speech caused. And then there was an interview with her. I forgot who she was interviewing. But she was talking to somebody. And she was like, well, the reason why the Holocaust happened was because of free speech.
Yeah, everyone was like, what the
what? What? Was it the Nazi party, like, censorship galore? Like,
yeah, no, Hitler loved letting Anne Frank come out and give sermons at the fucking
exactly. Like, dude, that was the most
What?
That was the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Free speech caused
the Holocaust, dude.
What?
And I was just like taken aback by it, but it's just like you don't realize how lucky we do have it in this country.
And that's what I say, like, be issue by issue, and remember when those big events happen, when the government orchestrates something and they're trying to switch things.
Right.
You have to keep that idea in your head that.
Right. Why are they?
That's why we question every major event.
100%.
There's a lot. Like I said, obviously we can't say everything's fucking fake and orchestrated. And and you can get into it. And I love the fact that we talk about everything being fake or orchestrated, and it could be. Because you got to be open to everything. But what I'm saying is, if you have that major event, if there's something behind it to switch something, and it really looks like it has that big push to change something, you have to remember your base ideals, and you have to remember that free speech is fucking everything.
Yeah, and that's the way I look at it, too. Like, I look at a lot of things that, if you do see it on the mainstream news...
Yep.
They're lifting the veil up and being like, here's an idea for you people.
Exactly.
This is what we want here.
Give you little crumbs.
Implant this into your memory bank.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here, look at what Germany does.
Like when we say constitutional crisis.
Right. All keywords.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
What does constitutional crisis mean?
Stop the spread.
Yeah.
Weapons of mass destruction.
Like all these things, like.
Keywords, man. They're mind control.
I could say constitutional crisis about every administration from since the dawn of the country.
What was the one during the election? Save Democracy or whatever it was?
Oh.
Or Democracy's Ending?
Democracy's on the ballot.
Yeah, Democracy's on the ballot.
Yes, Democracy's on the ballot.
How many times have you heard
Except
that?
for the candidate that didn't get any votes was...
It's kind of weird.
Running.
It's kind of weird, but every mainstream... That was the thing. Stop the spread.
Democracy's on the ballot.
Democracy's on the ballot, man.
Yeah.
And now it's, guess what? We're still in a democracy. He's not a dictator. We're fine.
Everything's still being voted on.
We're alive.
Nothing. We'll see. It's been 3 weeks. We don't know.
It's crazy, though.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, too, he did it before.
I know. Like, he was literally president and left.
Yeah. It's a crazy way of thinking. And like I said, it's all fear-mongering, dude. It's a lot of fear-mongering.
We got to end on a lighter note. I need to... We need something light to end on.
Well, you got to come up with it.
Oh fuck!
I'm out of talking points here.
Oh no.
We're running out of fumes, man. Like a fucking trucker at a Canada COVID rally.
Oh man, why am I out of like positive things to talk about?
This guy's going insane. Positive? You need something
Yeah,
positive?
we gotta end light, man. You can't end with a black pill.
Oh, dude. You got me. I'm all negative, dude. I'm a dark cloud.
Yeah.
Nothing's positive. Nothing.
It's sad. We giggle a lot. I'm trying to think of something we can end positive on.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is how we're going to end the podcast. Like, people are just waiting. People are hanging now. They're waiting for that positive thing.
Waiting?
Like and subscribe, please.
Waiting on the verge for this to drop.
Yeah, we need something.
Positivity. You know, I look and
we should have ended on the hockey game.
Should have ended on the hockey. Hey, they play Thursday. So if you're not a hockey fan, I would tune into that one. That one, it might be interesting.
U.S. Canada rematch after we beat the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good. Hey, hat tip to Canada too for dropping them. You need two to tango.
Exactly.
You know, you gotta have two to tango.
Like, hey, I hope you're our 51st state.
I know.
I would love to be able to go see my grandma without having to cross a border. Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, that's also a good thing. And then that's just on our step to one world government once he acquires Canada and Greenland.
That is true. That is the scary thing. Oh, let's talk about that. This is fucking negative.
That's part of the plan.
I mean, they're definitely going to take Greenland. There's a lot of deposits in oil in Greenland.
Yeah.
And once you have Greenland, I mean, Canada's surrounded.
How is that possible? How could he just take over a country?
Why not?
Why not? Because they ended colonization in like 1913. You remember England had to give back all the territory in India and Africa. And
if I could bring free speech to the 30 people that live in Greenland.
Oh yeah, they need it.
They need it.
They need it. They're just whale hunters.
I can't wait to get that dude on X, dude. He's gonna have a lot to say.
Which one?
One of the guys in Greenland.
Oh, one of the guys.
One of the whalers in Greenland.
Yeah. One of the whalers. I mean,
what do they speak in Greenland?
I don't know. I mean, there's probably 30 people that live there. I don't know much about Greenland, to be honest.
I know the population is like under 30,000.
Yeah, it has to be because it's uninhabitable.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're anything like Halifax people, Nova Scotians, like those are weirdos, huh?
No, those people are pretty normal. It's once you get to the Newfies.
Newfies, yes,
yeah,
Newfies.
Once you get to the Newfies.
Yes, Newfies are
the Newfies speak a different language.
Yes, I know that.
Here's a fun story we can talk about. Let's be a pro-Canada story for the end of the fucking podcast. All right. So my dad used to tell me he went to, I can't tell you what he does for a living. Works for the CIA. No,
works for the Canadian government.
No, but he went to college over. He did like a semester or something in Finland, where he had to do like some training thing for his job. And he used to walk to school, walk to class, and there was a woman on a porch, and she would give him a dirty look every fucking day. She'd be like staring at him. He'd be like, "Okay, just keep his head down, keep walking to school." And then all of a sudden, one day, she stops and yells at him, and she says, "You haven't come into my house once to have like a drink with me, or have dinner with me." Like, she was mad because he didn't come over and like literally sit down and have a meal with her.
In Finland?
Newfoundland.
No, Newfoundland.
Okay. Newfies. Canada.
I thought you said Finland.
So he walked in there and he said, the Newfies are the most... Well, he didn't say this, but like the Newfies are known for like being drinkers.
Oh, big
They're
time.
Irish. They just fucking slam them.
Yep.
And they speak essentially a different language.
Halifax Music Festival, I guess, every year in the summertime. It's the place to go.
Halifax is before Newfoundland, though.
Am I thinking of it right? I swear
Halifax is on the East Coast. Like, it's on the way.
Why do I keep saying
But Newfoundland
Halifax?
is the very end. Halifax, Nova Scotia is like right before.
What's in Newfoundland? What's the city of Newfoundland?
Labrador.
Labrador. Yeah, you might be right. Yep.
But the Newfies speak a different language, man. Eyes to bite to builds the boat, and eyes to bite to buys her.
Yep.
Like you need a translator to talk Newfie. Yeah, go look up some videos on YouTube about Newfie. You'll get a good laugh out of them.
Chicklets.
But they're good drinkers. They like to bring an acoustic guitar everywhere they go, and they like to sing Irish gigs.
Yep, storytellers, everything.
Yeah, the old like fucking Charlie and Always Sunny going to Ireland, like the fucking bang the cup and sing an old Irish song.
It's a very European feel.
Well, I don't know about European. Irish is different than European. Irish is like the fucking redneck of Europe.
I don't know, man. I would put Ireland as Europe.
Yeah, they're in Europe, but I'm saying like Newfies are like rednecks, dude. They're not.
I don't know about that, man.
Yeah, they're fishermen.
Yeah, they're fishermen. I don't want to put them.
They're not like fucking elites.
Yeah, I wouldn't put them.
They're known as a very.
When I think of rednecks, dude,
redneck's the wrong word.
I think of
I'm saying redneck
Daytona.
as opposed to like.
I think of NASCAR, dude.
I know they're not
smoking
farmers.
darts and
they're not getting
Busch
sun
Light.
on their fucking neck from working the farms because they're fishermen in the ice. But I'm saying they're more salt of the earth people playing acoustic guitar.
I see them as like Irishmen.
You know what I meant? Drunken eyes divided, builds the boat, and eyes divide.
Yeah, and the last thing I see an Irishman is a redneck.
You're right. It's the wrong term. It wasn't what I meant.
Redneck.
Here's a Newfoundland accent for you guys to end the podcast.
He's never been to Ireland, nor his father, nor his father's father before him.
Sounds like English.
Sean, he's 7 or 8 generations removed.
Are they gonna play it?
No, it sounds like England. Sounds like this guy's Irish.
It's a distinctive Irish flavor.
What the fuck is this?
It's hard to imagine
This
someone.
guy's just showing you an Irish.
Man.
Oh man, what the hell? This is TikTok for you people. Don't go on there. Get off of TikTok.
Here you go.
Yeah, right. This guy's speaking to aliens.
That is a
dude.
strong Newfoundland accent.
He's speaking to, this guy is speaking to aliens.
But here you go. That's what you get.
This is terrible. You know how terrible this sounds?
Yelling and heckling at the rinks, I think they should stick to crosswords and knitting. And if the young boys, men, I should say, can't handle a bit of heckling at the rink, they should stick to tiddlywinks and PlayStation.
I agree.
Hockey moms can't handle.
He's right. He ain't wrong.
If the hockey moms can't handle the wink, the boys stick to tiddlywinks and the PlayStation.
He ain't wrong.
Anyways, that was a fucking whole roundabout for nothing.
Way to go for fucking. And they got a positive note here.
Love you guys. fucking follow us on Twitter.
Just ended on the negative.
Fucking text me something. Give me a ghost story. We'll be back.
Sorry, I apologize for the accents.
We gotta.
I'm in a whirl right now.
I gotta post.
Sounded like he was flipping through an AM radio station at the end over here. Bye.
Malaysia is coming up. Montana's coming up. We've been talking about the When to Go Forever. We'll see you guys next week.